Hello and welcome to this TIOMarkets webinar on my first trade. This is the second of a series of webinars which we're doing. Obviously, today's webinar is very much targeted at new traders who maybe do not have a familiarity with the trading platforms we have here at TIOMarkets, the MT4 and MT5 trading platforms, which are used, predominantly across the industry. I know those of you that maybe have had accounts with other brokers will have had some familiarity with them, but today we just want to go through how to use them, how to place your first trade. Essentially, the process is pretty much the same for MT4 and MT5. So, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to use my MT5 demo account to show you exactly how to get yourself set up, how to place a trade, etc. And at the end, I'll just show you the one subtle difference on MT4, which is really just how you can view the size of the trade that you placed. But we'll tackle that at the end. So, brief introduction to myself. My name is David Hannigan. I am the Chief Dealer here at TIOMarkets. I oversee all trading on our platforms, and I also manage the liquidity provider relationships which we have as well, which of course are all important. And my background, I have over 30 years experience in FX trading. Over 20 years of that was working for some tier 1 and tier 2 banks, running FX trading desks, and I moved over to the retail side of the business probably about 7 or 8 years ago. So I've got a fair amount of experience on trading and on foreign exchange, so hopefully I can, over the course of these webinars, I can get some of that experience and knowledge over to you and enhance your trading experience. So just quickly here, let's just go through what we have here on the agenda. So what I really want to do is just show you how to get your MetaTrader set up in order to place your first trade, show you exactly what that looks like, bringing up a dealing box. A lot of traders like to be able to add a take profit order or a stop loss order. We'll show you how to do that before you're actually putting a trade on, and also afterwards. We'll show you how to place a pending order. Maybe you don't want to deal with the current market price, but you want to leave an order maybe to buy a bit lower down, or you want to leave an order to sell higher up. That's called a pending order. We'll show you how to do that. Obviously, we all need to see our positions and any open orders that we might have, including those pending orders. So again, we'll just show you how to navigate around to be able to see those, how to close the trade, obviously very important, both partially closing a trade, meaning, if you had a position open for 100,000 euro against the US and you only wanted to close 50, we'll show you how to do that. Hedging is a word which is a little bit sort of misleading maybe on the retail side of the business, but really it just means rather than closing an open trade, you place an offsetting trade against it. We'll show you how to do that. And then finally, just how to navigate to find your trade history, so you can see all the trades you've done, what you did, when you did them, and the P&L on those trades. So without further ado, I am going to bring up my MT5 demo account here. When you open your actual trading account, you will probably see it will have some symbols already in this space up here, which MetaTrader referred to as Market Watch. These symbols here, which are grayed out, you cannot trade on them. They are just conversion rates. If you're wondering what that means exactly, it could be because your account is funded in a certain currency. It could be because you need conversion rates there in order to be able to trade in a certain symbol and then convert whatever the P&L on that symbol is. So let's say you traded in Kiwi against the yen. The P&L is actually going to calculate in Japanese yen, but your account might be funded in, I don't know, US dollars. So we need to convert Japanese yen into US dollars when you open and close that trade. And that's why we have those conversion rates there for you. Similarly, you will see some conversion rates for the cryptocurrencies as well, as some people have funded in crypto also. So how to get MarketWatch set up to place your first trade? There's a couple of different ways of doing it. The simple way I like to do it is anywhere within the Market Watch box is just right click and then go down to symbols. And this is going to open up this box. Down the left hand side here, you're going to have different different subsets of the symbols. When you are actually in your live account, the system, depending on which account you've subscribed to, so maybe standard account, maybe you've subscribed to VIP Black, the system is going to allow you only to open the symbols for which you have subscribed to. So it's going to make it a little bit easier. You probably won't have quite so many choices down here. But for the sake, we'll just say we're going to assume that we've opened up a VIP account. Okay. So we're going to go up to these VIP symbols here. We're going to double click, and you see in the middle here, it's going to bring up a whole list of VIP symbols for us to trade. Now, we have over 200 symbols, I think, in total available for clients to trade. I would say even for the most experienced of traders, that's an awful lot of symbols to trade. I would suggest you think very carefully about what you want to trade and just bring up what you want. So, you know, if it's, let's say, the most liquid, probably the most popular pair to trade is Euro against the US. Okay, that's always a popular one. You know, let's add that. Okay, just double click, that becomes yellow, and you can see over here on the side it populated. Let's say we wanted to also add Australian dollar against the US. Again, just find it, double click, you can see over here it's populated, and we're good. Now, let's say we also wanted to add one equity indices. Let's say we were interested in trading the Dow Jones index. So we'll go over here to, I think it's held under CFDs. Here it is. Actually, we already have Dow Jones loaded up there. So if it wasn't loaded up already, you just double click, it'll go yellow and you'll see it appear over here. So once you've done loading what you want to add on there, you just hit OK, and you then have these symbols appeared here. These symbols you can move around. You just simply hold down and click, and then move up, move down, etc. You know, you can sort it any which way you want. It's basically just click and hold. There are other ways to add symbols. There's this little button here. You can click to add. The only thing you need to be careful of here, you need to know what the symbol, exactly what the symbol is, but it will give you some prompts. So let's say you wanted to add dollar yen, so you add USD. You see it comes up with prompts, and I know yen is JPY, and then it's going to give you the option to add these different symbols. Again, in your live account, it's only going to give you the option to load the symbol that you can actually trade. Here, because it's a demo account, that's a little bit different. So we can just add the dollar yen there, hit return, and you can see that's there. There are two ways if you really wanted to add all symbols. If you right click anywhere in here, go down to show all, that will bring up every single symbol we have, all 202 of them. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to have to get rid of them all. If you decided that you wanted to get rid of all the symbols you put up, then you can click on hide all here, and that will get rid of them again. But as I said, I would suggest you just bring up the symbols that you really want to trade, and keep this keep your Market Watch area fairly clean. So we've got our Market Watch set up. We're now ready to trade. We've decided we want to trade euro dollar. First up, we want to buy for whatever reason. We're going to do it. This is how we do it. So anywhere on the euro dollar line, we just double click. Okay. This will be the same MT4, MT5. It will bring up this dealing box. Looks the same, pretty much MT4, MT5. It has this little chart over here. I don't know why they bring that up, but they do anyway. What's important to you is this. It will automatically default to the symbol that you've double clicked on. If you really wanted to trade something else, you could bring down the drop down here and then maybe change that to Australian dollars, and then hit return. It's up to you, but the chances are you've clicked on what you wanted to trade anyway, so it's on there. If for some reason you decide you don't want to trade, you just simply X the button out, nothing's happened, and you close the box out. So on this occasion, we do want to trade. This drop down here is going to give you two options: market execution and pending order. It will automatically default to market execution. That means you want to trade here and now. You're happy to trade on the price, which is on the current market price, which you can see down here. That is obviously changing constantly as it updates. If you wanted to leave a pending order, which means you want to leave an order to trade at a price other than the market price, so as I said before, either buy below the market or sell above the market, then you would change this to pending order. But we're going to do a market order here. Volume. This can be a little confusing to those who are not used to MetaTrader speak, if you like. MT5 actually shows the volume over here in the actual notional amount you're going to trade. So let's say we wanted to trade 10,000 euros. Okay. MetaTrader deals in lots, L-O-T-S, lots. This volume here, one lot, is equivalent to 100,000 of whatever you're trading. So if it's euro against the US, it will be 100,000 euros. If it's Aussie against the US, it will be 100,000 Aussie. If it's dollar against Japanese yen, it will be $100,000, okay? That is something which is probably something maybe you're not used to if you've dealt on different platforms. You've never dealt on any platform in retail FX. That's the lot system. One lot in FX is 100,000 of the notional you're trading. 0.1 will be 10,000, and 0.01, which is the smallest amount you can trade, is 1,000. They are lovingly referred to as a standard lot for 100,000, and a micro lot for the tiny amount of the 1,000. You know, it's just something you kind of have to get used to. I just write it down on a piece of paper because it's going to be simpler to do that way. As I said, on MT5, it will show you the notional amount here converted from the lot amount you've put in. Okay, on MT4, it doesn't. That is the only difference in dealing between the two platforms. So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to do a trade here for 10,000 euro. So that's going to be 0.1 of a lot. Okay, just remember, one standard lot has 100,000. So 0.1 will be 10,000. At this point, you could place a stop loss and a take profit on the order before you do the trade. We're not going to do that here. We're just going to buy or sell. Let's say we're going to buy. You just simply click this button once. It says the deal's done. You bought your 0.1 of a lot of euro. Get okayed. Box closes. Down here, this box down here, there's various tabs along the bottom. For the most part, you're going to keep this set to a trade tab. This will show your open trades above the grain line. Below the grain line, it will show any pending orders. So any orders that you've left that haven't been executed yet. So we can see here, we dealt Euro US. You've got a ticket number. It's unique to this trade. The time you dealt. The time you dealt is in MetaTrader time. Okay, it is not US time, New York time. It is not Central European time. It is not GMT. It is MetaTrader time. MetaTrader time runs from 000 hours, which is equivalent to 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the US, so New York time, through the 24 hours to the following day. Okay, why is it set like that? Because at 5 o'clock New York time, which is equivalent to 000 hours MetaTrader time, that is the time at which the market convention for changing of settlement dates changes. Okay, so that's why the MetaTrader clock is set up as such. So if you saw your time of trading here said 02000, that will be the equivalent of, that's 2 o'clock MetaTrader time. That would be the equivalent of 7 o'clock at night in the US on the East Coast. It would be the same as in London at midnight, because it'd be 5 hours added on, and so on and so forth. It takes a little bit getting used to, but that's what it is. So, you know, just count back, you know, to 00 and 5 o'clock New York time, and use that as a kind of a benchmark. So what else we got here? Tells you the order when you bought or sold. You bought. Tells you the volume. As I said, MT5 has the option of being able to show you in lots or in the actual amount you doubt. Here I have mine set up to the actual amount we doubt, so we have a 10.0k, 10,000. You can also change it if you want. You just right click anywhere on the volume, go to the volume drop down, change it to lots, and it will go back to the 0.1 we originally doubted. But we'll keep it on amounts here because I think that's a bit simpler for people to see. The price you doubt at, one spot 11,027. Stop loss and take profit, we haven't put those in yet. This is the current market price, okay? So current market price or the current bid, because you bought these, so it's going to reval against the bid. One spot 11019, that's going to keep changing. Swap is something you get charged at the end of the day. It's basically because whenever you're trading currencies, you're buying one currency and you're selling another currency. So basically you're going to get credited for whatever you're long, and you're going to get debited for whatever you're short, and that ends up being a net credit or net debit come the end of the day. This will only appear once we've started a new trading day, if you like, which again is at 00 hours MetaTrader time, 5 o'clock New York time as a reference. And over here it's just your mark-to-market profit, so that's going to be related to whatever the current price is. And now at the moment we're down 40 on the trade. Now the next thing I wanted to show you here, I think, was how to place a take profit or a stop loss on the trade. Let's just go back to this. Yep, okay. So if you've already done a trade, you want to put a stop loss and a take profit in, you just simply click over here, either one, and it's going to bring you up a box, and this will allow you to physically put in a stop loss and a take profit. I generally just write the numbers in, just be a little bit careful, make sure you're doing accurate. So let's say I wanted to put a stop loss in at one spot 110.90, and let's say I wanted to put a take profit in at one spot 1130. This goes blue down here, which means it's going to allow you to place the order or modify it, and hit OK, closes that out. And then you'll see here it's put the stop loss in at 110.90 and the take profit in at 111.30. The way MetaTrader works is your stop loss at 110.90 will get triggered when 110.90 is the next best bid. Okay, so it won't trigger when it's 110.91 or 110.905, but when that goes down to 110.900 as the next best bid, that's when the system will automatically execute the stop loss. Similarly, on the take profit area, you will get filled when the market price becomes one spot 1130 bid. Okay, has to go bid there for you to be able to sell there. If you were short, you'd sold, okay, and you were looking to buy them back for a profit, you would have to let the market go offered there at that price for you to get your take profit filled. Okay, so this is where you put these stop losses and take profits in. Fairly simple, and those will trigger when the market gets to either level. So that's how to do your first trade and how to put a take profit and stop loss in. Now, I mentioned before a pending order. Okay, a pending order being an order where you don't want to buy at the current market price, but you want to buy, below the market price, or you want to sell above the current market price. So let's put in one of them. We're going to go over to Aussie US for this one. Again, you just double click. Brings up the box, come to Aussie. Remember, it's not market execution, you want to leave a pending order. Okay, now this will then change the box a little bit because it's going to change how you put the order in. Okay, so let's say we want to buy Aussie, but we don't want to buy it at the 0.67886 where it is now. Let's say we want to buy it at 0.6770. Okay, we're going to stick to our 10,000, 0.1 of a lot. We are going to put the price in as 0.6770. Okay, this has gone blue. That means the system understands it, and we are going to hit place. Now, there is an expiration button here. If you put GTC, that means good till cancelled. That means that order will stay there until such time as you cancel it. It can sit there for 2 years if you don't cancel it. You can also have it good for today, which means at the end of the day, 5 o'clock New York time, 2400 hours meta time, that order will cancel. You can also have it specified, which basically means you can customize when you want that order to cancel. So if you wanted to cancel at midday on Friday, you can put that in. But just remember, it's always meta time it goes in as. Anyway, for this one, we're just going to leave it good till cancelled. So just hit place, and you see here below the grey line is where the pending order is. Above the grey line is where our order is, which is live. Well, this is an open trade. Okay. So let's look at cancelling orders or closing trades. This order here, let's say you didn't want it anymore, you changed your mind, or you just wanted to not have it over a weekend or whatever it was. You just double click anywhere on there. It's going to bring the box up, big red button to delete, hit delete, and boom, gone, it's disappeared. That's the end of that one. In terms of closing this ticket down, we just double click. Let me try that one again. You got to double click actually where it says price. Sorry. If you double click somewhere else, like I just did then, it thinks you want to modify the order. So double click where the price is. If you want to close all of it, just close out the whole 10,000. You just hit the yellow button at the bottom and close it out. Let's say you want to do a partial close. Let's say you only want to close 5,000 of the 10,000. Okay, you then change this amount up here to 0.05, which is the 5,000 euro, and then hit the close button down here. You're going to see this order below here. You're going to see that change from being an open 10,000 position to an open 5,000 position. Okay. Now let's say you wanted to close the rest out. Again, you just double click and you just hit the close, the yellow button there, and that position will now just disappear. Okay. That position is closed. The last thing I wanted to show you is how to put on a hedge. Let me just make sure I'm sticking to my agenda here. Okay. How to hedge something. So we'll go out to Euro US. We bring up our chart. Our dealing box. We're going to stick to the 10,000 euro. Actually, you know, let's do one lot this time. All right, we'll do 100,000 euro. We're going to buy. We open the position, and it's sitting there. Shows you the symbol, the ticket number unique to that trade, the time MetaTrader. You bought 100,000 euros. The price you dealt at. You don't have a stop loss or take profit entered yet. The current market price and the mark-to-market profit on that trade. Now let's say we wanted to hedge, which means we don't want to close the ticket, we want to offset it. Simply click on here, and instead of doing close, which will close that ticket out, we're going to do sell. Okay, because we bought originally. If I do sell now, we're going to have an equal and opposite trade against it. So you've kind of hedged. Your overall exposure now is zero, right? Because you're long 100,000 and you're short 100,000, but you've got two different tickets. Some traders like to do that because they feel that one ticket, when it gets in the money, they're going to close that one out and then hope the other one comes back. Personally, I'm not a big fan of doing that. I'd rather look at my overall net position. To me, this is a square position, but to each their all. And for those of you who are used to hedging, just remember when you do bring the ticket up, you hit the sell or buy button to offset the open ticket. Do not hit close. If, let's say, now you've got this position on, you decide you do want to close it out, click on one of the trades. So if hitting modify position up here brings this ticket up, we're going to hit the close buy button. This is going to allow you to close one ticket using another ticket that you already have open. So we're not going to do any trades in the market. We're just going to use what we already have. So we know here we already have an offsetting ticket. Our exposure is net zero. We just highlight that one, and it's going to say close this ticket number 236 by this ticket number 239, and you'll see both tickets disappear. Okay, it just saves you crossing a couple of spreads to close out. You can just close out with each other. So that shows you how to hedge. That shows you how to close out a hedge position if you decide you just want to close out the offset positions. So that's great. You've done all your trades. What do you need to do now? What you need to do now is actually see where they are. Now, along the bottom here, There's a number of different tabs. Not going to go into them today. The trade one is the important one. History is also important because that's where all your trades are. Okay, so all these trades we just did today, it has the same details as you had before. It has the ticket number, the time at which the trade was opened, the direction of the trade, the volume, how much you did, the symbol you traded, the price at which you traded, if there are any stops or take profits. This one here is the time at which you closed it, which is normally what I sort by. I have the most recently closed trade at the bottom, the price at which you closed it, any commission paid, any swaps that you received or got charged, and then the overall profit on the trade. Obviously, it's a demo account I use a lot, so there's a lot of history there. If you decided that you only wanted to see today's history, you can right-click, go up to the history part here where it says custom period. Let's say we only wanted to see today. We just go to today, hit OK, and there we can see the 3 trades we just did. Okay, the euro dollar we opened and closed, and then the 2 euro dollars here we did really to show us a hedge, which we offset against each other. Okay, and that will show you obviously your net P&L there. You got $7. So that's how you end up seeing your trade history, and then said using that customized box there, you just right click up to custom period. You can bring it up to last month, last 3 months, or you can customize it to whatever time period you want. If you want to go and see everything, you just hit entire history, and that will go back. It will show you every single trade that you've done. It will show every deposit, every withdrawal, the whole 9 yards. So, you know, up to you. Do it as you wish. And that is that pretty much sums up what we have for you there. So I am just going to show you MT4 very quickly. MT4, exactly the same. You configure the market watch in the same way. The only difference is, as I said before, is when you bring up a ticket, it will only show it in lots. Remember, we had the option, well, not the option, it will show you here. If I did 0.1 of a euro, it came up as 10,000 here. It doesn't do that on MT4. That's the simple difference. If I trade, so put that trade on, go to the trade tab here, shows the trade exactly as it did in MT4, but size-wise, it doesn't, if you right-click here, it doesn't give you the option to be able to view that position in actual notional amount. It's only in lot size. Okay, goes out exactly the same way. Double click on the price. It didn't like that. Didn't like that either. Oh, there's something wrong with our server there, but we'll worry about that one later. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but anyway, it should just close out. I'll give it one last go. Okay, we're good. So that's how you end up closing out a trade on MT4. As I said, it's really identical to MT5 in terms of trading. And that pretty much does it for me today. So I hope you found that interesting. There will be a copy of this available for you to go through, you know, so you can pause and look and see exactly what I've done at certain stages of putting a trade on. You know, please use your demo accounts to practice first. Very important before you actually go live. And we look forward to being able to talk to you again soon. Thanks so much.